a solo trip. Why I highly, especially for women and women of color, take time off, extended time off. Like, and maybe you've been thinking about it, and maybe this video is confirmation for you to do so. If you found this video or if this video found you, this is the final video for my sabbatical journey, the last part. And Paris for me was yeah, and if you're like me, you probably hear all the good things about Paris, and it's very sensationalized in my opinion. It played a role, it served a purpose, but out of everywhere that I've been on my sabbatical journey, Paris was the least favorite. Paris is actually my least favorite city. Like, I did not like Paris. Spoiler alert. I didn't, but I had a great time with the people that I met, right? Just the alignment piece. And that's really what the sabbatical journey was for me. You'll hear me say a lot in the videos, like alignment, alignment, alignment. Let's just do an overview. So in Paris, I feel like you will be in a queue most of your time, meaning you will be in line, especially if you're going for the museums like the Louvre, etc., etc. And I wasn't big on museums, especially after visiting the museum in Amsterdam, and I mentioned that in the video explaining why I didn't do any more museums while I was in Europe. But the catacombs I was interested in seeing, and that is in Paris. Had no idea that you needed to get your tickets in advance. Even with tickets in advance, there were people in line that had tickets and still wasn't getting in. I waited about an hour in the line for the catacombs, and that's when I met some other people from Jersey. They were like behind me, and I guess our accents, we knew where each other was from, and their roots were in Egypt. And come to find out, it was a sister and brother that they lost their parent as well. So around the same time, it was just weird, the dates, how they aligned. But for us to meet the way we did, it was perfect. I didn't expect for Paris was to find so many Africans. There are a lot of West Africans. Like, they have their own section in Paris. So you can go blocks for blocks for blocks, and there's so many West Africans, a lot. I didn't expect to see so many people of color. And what else? And homelessness. Oh my gosh. And the area I stayed in was nice, but the homeless, they were tents and tents, and there were just tents of people that kind of made you feel a bit unsafe sometime at night. But there are areas of Paris that's nice. And I believe for me, at least for my experience, it's the people that you're with that will make the experience. Like, the people that I met really made Paris the experience I had. Otherwise, I walked everywhere, because this was during their strikes. The train, oh my God, forget about it. They have just a few that run during the day, and we were packed like sardines. And I remember a knife, like a blade, fell out of somebody's pocket, and I'm like, what is happening? And we literally, like, we were squished like this, and we had to hold on to each other. And that's when I decided that I'm going to start walking. So I did. I would walk for hours from each section. I did. All of me getting around in Paris was walking. But Montmartre, and I'm probably pronouncing this very wrong, Montmartre is like old Paris. You get the history. Take the free walking tour. That's like one of my favorite free walking tours. That one and Malaga, like my top free walking tours. I love me a free walking tour. Most places that you visit have them. Look them up next time you're traveling. They are clutch. Especially do it earlier in your trip. I did mine like towards my last full day, and it came from a Parisian. She actually recommended this specific one in this company, and we met in the Montmartre section. And you get to see the history with, I believe it was Picasso, where he stayed. Also learned about croissants, however you pronounce it. You learn about the history of that and bread, and why it was such a need for it due to the war, and it was cheap, it was affordable, and there needed to be affordable food. So there are levels to croissants, right? You can go to one place and it won't be as good as the next place. And in the Montmartre section, you can go to some of the historical sites, historical bakeries, and really enjoy like Paris. It was so cute in that area too. I highly recommend. And then there's this thing where you walk up to the church and you can watch the sunset, and there's trolleys. It was really cute. I was really bummed that I only found out about it towards the end of my trip, because I thoroughly enjoyed that part. That was a highlight out of Paris. I take that back, because Paris has one of my favorite parks that I've been to. I am a nature girl. Most of the countries that I visited, I always go to the park. I'll go to visit a park or a library. I love libraries, and I like to see how they are done around the world. And Paris, I was just walking and meeting up with one of the young ladies that I met. She was staying, like, we were meeting up midway. I had pulled up a map. She told me where she was staying, and I found a middle point. It happened to be McDonald's. Right? So this particular park, I call it the Park of Booties. I promise you, every French person that I tell and they know Paris, they know the park I'm talking about. It has, everything's man-made, of course, but Paris has such good cheese. Oh, like if you go and you get a charcuterie board, you can straight do that at the park. Like, they have so many tiny little supermarkets that you can go to on the street and get cheese, wine too. My gosh, like you can go get you a bottle and some cheese, and I promise you, like 10 euros you're spending, and bread. Get you a baguette or a croissant, whatever you want, and take that to the park and people watch and eat. There's a waterfall there as well. You can climb up, there's a bridge, and the views are really nice, especially for sunset. There are quite a few spots for sunset that you can find. So be mindful, be vigilant. There are a lot of people, especially near the Eiffel Tower. There are tons of tourists, and locals know that. So pickpocketing is a big thing. Paris is a big city. Crime is something to be mindful of. People love it, and again, I think it's who you go with and what you're looking for. The food was, people love French food. I didn't love it. Escargot was good. I did have like some of the best escargot that I've had was in Paris. I personally would say go to a market. If you like cheese, if you like bread, you will find good bread. Like French bread is good. Champagne, get some champagne because it's cheap. Like, go to the markets and get all the things that you would get, and just go to the park. Especially if you go in summer. I'm telling you, European summer is like the sun is up till about 10 p.m. So you're at the park enjoying yourself, people watching, and it's a beautiful park. Out of those, I can't really tell you much else. Andrew, how do I say it in French? Eiffel? Tour Eiffel. Tour Eiffel. Hi. Sophia, wave. Mohammed and Andrew, wave to the camera. I don't know what today's date is, but we're here. 27th of December. I was taking classes a couple years and studying here. Overall, it was underwhelming. It reminded me of New York. The streets were dirty. We took a train to Versailles, and Versailles had a whole different vibe. I liked Versailles way more. It's a tiny town. If you have the time, I don't know how long you'll be there, but it's a day trip. You can take a train to Versailles in a day and go see it. If it is winter time, this sounds really somber. They have something called jumping season, where people jump on train tracks. Mental health is real, and it's gloomy. And if you go to Europe in the wintertime, you'll understand why mental health takes a turn during that time. So as we were on the train to Versailles, we were held up for about an hour and a half, maybe even longer, because someone had jumped. And the locals on the train was like, it was a jumper. And I'm like, wait, they casually said like a jumper, like there was a name for it. And they said it's jumping season. I'm like, what bothered me was how normalized it was, right? Like, it's a jumper, it's jumping season, that this is all normal. And I'm like, what is being done to address this? So train drivers have to get used to essentially like seeing people die. It was just, it blew my mind. But that Eiffel Tower was underwhelming. I'm sorry, but Paris, I'll leave that up to you to decide if you want to go. But I highly do encourage you to take time off, extended time off. Like, if you can, and I know it's a luxury, but you should be the most important person to yourself. And if you don't make time for yourself, or make time for your healing, or carve out time for your expansion and your growth, and allow for yourself to do that, then who will? Right? How can you be of service or good to others if you are no good to yourself, if you are not taking care of yourself? So maybe you need to create a separate fund and call it your freedom fund, because you're about to have like all the feels. I promise you, you won't regret it. You know, you have to make time and make space and sacrifice for what you want and what you need. And I want this for you. I genuinely would love to see, and I'm a woman of color. I just don't see too many people of color in the spaces that I travel to, or traveling like the way I do. And I want that to change. And I feel like the more we discuss it and demystify what it's like traveling alone, me just taking my own solo trips throughout the continent of Africa. And then from there, a friend knew, it was friends knowing where I was, and a friend invited me to go visit her in Amsterdam. And then from there, my journey just took flight in Europe. And it all came from just meeting people and being open, right? Keeping myself open. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to take a sabbatical or time off from when you're working, but also just when you're in transition in a new season in your life, it's nice to just take time off just for you. And all those stops on my journey was just showing me parts of me like, wow, Eb, we can do this. And others were seeing it. So time and doing it alone, a solo trip. Why I highly, especially for women and women of color, going on a trip where you're not meeting up with a friend, not meeting up with anyone that you know, but going alone. I don't care if it's still in the country that you're from, wherever it is, do it by yourself. You will learn so much about yourself, because you're gonna face obstacles, right? That's life, right? But you know, trips, things won't go as planned. And sometimes when you have a group with you, you rely on those people versus yourself. And then sometimes we don't know our power or our strength until we're put in certain circumstances that force us to do that. And when you're alone, it opens you up to meet new people. Just think, if you were with a group, somebody may not approach you, but if you're sitting by yourself, it can be less intimidating for them to start conversation and for you to be added on to their group versus your group of 7, right? I've met so many people that that are still my friends to this day through traveling alone. So I highly encourage you, even if you don't take a sabbatical, but just take some time to yourself, especially in this new season that you're facing. And maybe you've been thinking about it, and maybe this video is confirmation for you to do so. If you found this video, or if this video found you, I love to believe that opportunities and things find us versus us finding them, right? Because we're finally in alignment and that time is right.